Brilliant show there from Alan and Terry. As always, they always do a good show. What more can I say about them? Anyway, good evening, welcome to the Girls Are Loud link with the Lanky Beat show tonight, aren't we?
That's a recipe for chaos.
It's a recipe for disaster.
I think it is too.
Yes, we've got
it certainly is.
Bill Hart and myself, Diane, now doing the show tonight, and we're here till 9 o'clock.
We are indeed, and we'll see what kind of mischief we can get up to.
Yes, also we will be live from America. We've got the band on, haven't we?
We've got Sixth Generation, we've got Ron Hamrick and David Walenga ringing in about 5 to 10 minutes, and we're looking forward to a big long chat with both of them. And I didn't expect to be talking to Dave Walenga about the subject matter that we're actually dealing with. I spoke to him on the phone, a while ago, and I said, David, you must kind of ring in and we'll do a Lanky Beat program together, as it were, a Lanky Beat live program. So with that, we kind of left, and the next thing I'm picking up off Facebook is the fact what happened at the last gig, and of course taking the band back to the beginning of the second phase of their existence. The first phase, of course, was in the 60s. The second phase, I think, began around about 2010, so I want them to talk extensively about what their achievements were, and I'm looking forward to all the little bits of ins and outs that might be kind of going on. So there we go, and whilst I'm waffling a bit now, I think I can run this particular track for you.
Starting off with this one, then we'll go into that.
Oh, right.
Yes, well, I don't know what's going on here. I know nothing.
Yeah.
You know me.
Yeah.
Am I supposed to? I'm blonde.
You're blonde.
I'm blonde. What do I know?
I was a redhead.
You're redhead?
Yeah, I was.
I was on stage.
I was redhead. Yeah. I'm kind of pure grey now.
I think I'm pure something, but I'm not. Let's get on with it.
Hi, this is Eddie Holman. You're listening to Diane's Request.
Yes, and I am here. Diane's Request.
Around town, it's too exciting. Cruise through the drive-in one more time. Take another lap back to the stoplight. Radio blasting, waking up the quiet night. That was a long time ago. Now they've changed all the downtown storefront signs, and the drive-in burned back in '69. No more laps on Saturday night. They're just a memory cruise in my mind. Pleasant thoughts of long ago Saturday night. There's a nice rhythm to living in a small town. Small town. All day long it sings a soft, sweet song. Sings a soft, sweet song. Time might change the tune that you're hearing, but it will always let you sing along in a small town. As time moves on, fond memories don't fade away. Even though the town goes through some changes, the soul of the town is still the same. Young people do their own thing these days. They'll enjoy their
I do like that track. The Small Town, and they'll be with us very soon, won't they?
I hope so. Yeah, we're
Come
waiting
on.
for that phone call to come in. Yeah.
I'm all excited over it. Yeah, brilliant, aren't they?
I mean, it's a sad but a joyous occasion. I mean, they have decided to kind of call it a day, but we don't know what each of the individuals might be getting up to
I wonder
after
what-
they've called it a day as a band.
I wonder what brings it on with the band when they decide to call it a day.
Yeah.
Well, there
Yeah.
must be a lot of thought goes in and a lot of chat about it before it happens.
Oh, I'm sure a lot of gut-wrenching decision-making as well, yeah, that goes into something like that. They've had to kind of do a load of gut-wrenching stuff
Yeah.
to get together initially, and then formulate a plan of what they want to do in the future and attempt to achieve it. And we're going to hopefully be listening to what they have to say about it when David and Ron get online.
Oh, brilliant. They'll be ringing up very soon, won't they?
Yeah.
I wonder who this is.
I wonder who this is.
Could it be Art and Carney?
It could be Art and Carney with what's it called?
White Darkness.
Light from Darkness.
Leave behind the dark. It's a wonderful journey towards the light. Leave behind the dark. Wake up, it's the very first day of school today. Stepping from the shade. It's gotta be the best move you've ever made. Stepping from the shade. Wake up, it's the very first day of school today. Light from darkness. Light from darkness.
escuridão à luz. Luz desde la oscuridad.
Ilaw sa kadiliman.
Agakay Nash Ayam.
What can I say? That's an incredible track, isn't it?
It's it's a kind of a concept
It
track.
reminds me of Peter Gabriel. It really does.
Yeah. It's done in one chord. There's no chord changes whatsoever. It just starts off in the one chord.
So that
finishes
means
in
that
the same
it
chord.
doesn't go from Chubb to Yale
But
key-wise, does it?
No, it doesn't jump any. It doesn't jump any chords, and it just uses all the notes within the chords. That,
And what note is it used?
Well, do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti,
Yeah.
do.
Yeah, what note
It's all
is-
in one chord.
Yeah.
So I use all those notes
Yeah.
within the chord to sing the song. So, I mean, you need to make a song usually very interesting. You have to change chords, and the notes change within the chords.
And change
such like.
key.
Are we getting too technical here?
I think so.
I think so.
We've had a phone call and we've got them online, haven't we?
We have indeed.
All the way from that USA place. It's one only. Two members of the sixth generation. Hi, guys.
Hey, how you doing?
We're fine. How are you
Good to
doing?
be with you.
It's fantastic to hear
We're
from
doing
you.
fantastic.
Yes, Bill's in the studio with me.
Absolutely.
Absolutely
Hey,
lovely.
Bill.
Hi, Ron. Where's David?
I'm right here. I'm
Yeah.
right here, and it's good to be talking to my replacement drummer.
Lovely.
Big D's
Lovely.
replacement drummer. That's something to be proud of, isn't
Absolutely. I'm deeply proud of the associations I've had with the sixth generation. We kind of managed the visit, didn't we, when they came over here, Diane, in 2013. That included a trip to the cabin, but we did all sorts of other things as well, didn't we?
it? We're doing some cracking gigs. Like my main remembers it was every morning meeting up at a certain fast food restaurant.
McDonald's, you mean?
Oh yes.
We always seem
As a matter, we're in memory of you guys. We're sitting by one right now.
Right. Fantastic.
I thought we'd get blamed for that.
Yeah. Anyway, down to the business, you guys. Obviously, you have a long history going back into the 60s, and you had an illustrious career then, and then you reformed in 2010, am I right?
Yes, that's correct.
And, well, tell me why you reformed and what happened.
Well, it was Paul's daughter, the general's daughter, who turned to Paul and I and said, "Why don't you get the band back together?"
Yeah.
And I couldn't come up with a good reason not to.
Yeah.
So we called everybody, and then Ron and John and I met, the lead guitar player, original, and then the rest of us got together, practiced, something special still there, and we had unfinished business. 2011, we played our first show.
Fantastic. That's amazing. Now then, I have to bring you forward a little bit to 2017, because that's when you played last Saturday, your last show. What has
Yes.
what's transpired between then and now to make you kind of decide on quitting like this?
Let me take it. Go ahead. Well, I've got I really hurt my shoulder and my wrist last.
I'd heard
year
about that.
playing.
Yes, David.
Yeah, and I was bound and determined that if I couldn't continue playing strongly, that I didn't want to play weakly. and
yeah.
and so I had 2 more shows in me, and we did them, and that was great. Gio also, he is going to be sailing off in his sailboat next summer, so we wouldn't have played at all in the summer of 2018.
Yeah.
Ron has got his solo career started. It's time.
Yeah, yeah. I suspected you'd all got other ideas about what you wanted to do in the future, separately, I suppose I'm trying to say. What's Fred doing then? Fred Hulse, what's he going to be doing?
He's going to be on his sailboat sailing around Lake Michigan and then off to the Caribbean.
I don't want to know. Do you want to know about this?
No, I don't want to know about it because I'm not doing it. I don't want to know, and I'm very, very green with them.
Can he not kind of divert over to the UK and pick us up at Liverpool or something, and then take us down to the Caribbean?
I tell you what, I'll ask him.
Oh, it sounds fantastic.
I'll be surprised if they make it to the Caribbean, because it seems like every time they have the boat out, they have problems.
Oh, right, yeah.
Well,
yeah.
you know what they say about boats. Boats are a money pit. They cost a fortune to keep on top of.
Yeah.
Yes, that's very true.
Well,
yes.
Good luck with the boating to Fred. And
yeah.
What about Paul? Paul Davis is the bass player, and what's Paul going to be doing?
The general. That's the general.
The general.
As far as I know, the general is just the general, and you've got to know him to love him. And he's got a new granddaughter in Seattle, Washington, on the far west coast, actually in Oregon. And so I think they're going to be planning trips there. And then his other son is in the Navy in Sicily, and I think they're planning a trip to Sicily next year.
Well, as long as you're keeping full lives together, that's the main thing, David, isn't it? Now then, what we haven't heard from is what Ron's plans are. Come on, Ron, tell us what they are.
Well, I'm continuing on my own on a solo basis. I've actually released an album and 2 singles, and I've got 3 or 4 more singles that are coming out here very shortly.
Right.
I'm performing solo gigs and in the recording studio myself these days. So
fantastic. That's going to keep you very busy, I know, Ron. And it's the first love of your life. Well, no, I don't think that's the right thing to say. Your first love of your life is your dear family. I do know that. But I mean, you know, it's got to be your second love of your life, isn't it, Ron? You're so deeply involved with your music.
Absolutely. You know, I've been playing music since I was about 5 years old, and it's just part of me, you know.
Yeah, I know that deep-rooted feeling. Now then, what you've got to contend with is withdrawal symptoms, haven't you? All 4 of you have got to kind of go through a period of bereavement of sorts, isn't it? It's a loss. And you're together as a family. You're a family of your very own, the 6th generation, and now you're going to be quite as close, are you?
Well, we're probably not going to be as close, but you have to remember that in 1970, when we played our last show, when we drove away, we knew it was our last show, but there was unfinished business. There's very few opportunities in life that allow you a second chance, and we had that second chance, and we made the absolute most of it.
You certainly have.
From coming to England to taking Ron's songs, and one of them was in the top 10 of Billboard for 12 weeks.
That's
incredible. That's incredible for a bunch of old men.
It certainly is for a bunch of old men. We're not old men. We'll never be old. Rock and roll does not know any age.
All I can say, if you're a bunch of old men, you really know how to party.
Yeah.
Because when you was over here, it was fun.
I would like to say something publicly, though, while we're talking here.
Okay, Ron.
That's when we came over to England in 2013, Bill. I want you and Diane both to know how much we really sincerely appreciate everything you all did for us over there. That tour was phenomenal. It was a highlight of our second time around, and we treasure every minute of it. And the clubs that we played in, the Adlington Carnival, but especially the two that always stand out in my mind are Cavern and Latham.
Yeah,
and
the Latham Hall.
We had such a ball at both of them. You know, it was just phenomenal.
Yeah. I don't know why, but there are certain specialities within the specialists of what you were doing, wasn't there?
Yes.
And we thoroughly enjoyed. I mean, we met you for the first time when you came over here, although David and I had been conversing via Facebook for a considerable amount of time, and that's when I put to David the fact I just simply said, how do you fancy playing at the Cavern? And the rest, as they say, it was history.
Yep.
See, you don't, and I don't. Well, first of all, let me just say that the people of Liverpool and your group still love rock and roll music and live the Beatles. And people back home don't realize, and we're finding that less and less people were coming to our shows. I think it was because of their age, and they just didn't feel like they could get out any longer.
Yeah.
So when we came over there, talk about a breath of fresh air. It was fantastic.
Yeah.
And what the Beatles meant to Ron and I musically, I think we were both struck in 1964 when they played on the Ed Sullivan Show. I think both of us, even though we didn't know each other at the time, apart we really want to do that.
Yeah.
We want to have girls screaming like that.
Yeah,
and,
definitely.
And I did, Bill. I had a girl scream like that once, stepped on her foot.
All right. Yeah. All the old ones are the best ones, aren't they, Diane?
They certainly are. I can say, when the guys were over here, I sometimes look back and thought that was a load of fun, like being a roadie, helping out with the road crew and everything else. It was fantastic. I really enjoyed it.
It was a completely different experience for us as well,
Yeah.
I mean, we'd never had a band tour over from the US before. We'd never managed any of the situations like that before. We didn't know what kind of... We were just winging it, as they say.
Well, me, I thought USA was upstairs in Tattic.
Oh, right.
So, Ron, what are you going to be doing now with this new project? Are you going to be touring, etc.?
I'm sorry, I didn't quite understand, Diane.
Are you going to be touring with the new project?
Oh, yes, I am. Absolutely.
Any plans to visit the UK?
It's in the talking stages right now, and it will probably occur next summer, Diane.
Oh, that would be amazing if you're coming up. It'd be great to see you.
He's playing the cards very close to his chest, and I don't blame him because nothing's for certain yet. But we've got the dreams, haven't we, Ron?
Well, you've got a PA system anytime you need it.
Yeah.
So, we're all geared up for you.
I appreciate that, Diane. That's phenomenal.
Yeah.
No problem, anytime.
We're well.
Well, I was just going to say to both of you that it's amazing and people who are in bands that are listening in, or maybe even have played a team sport. When we came over and met you two, you were instant family, and we hope we feel the same way that you felt the same way about us.
Yeah.
It was like we'd known you forever.
Yeah.
And it was that musical bond that brought us together, and our shows were just so much fun. And I was just sitting there thinking and giggling. We played, I think it was at the Standish Club.
Yeah.
And what song were we playing where it turned out to be just Paul and I on the bass and the drums?
Oh, yeah, there was, I think we did Shake a Tail Feather.
That's right.
And Fred Hulse had gone back home at that point.
Yeah.
And Fred Bachman and myself and Dave and Paul were there.
Yeah.
And we started into that song, and my mind went totally blank. And Fred Bachman didn't have a clue either. He was playing guitar, and he didn't have a clue either. And so, out of my blank mind, all I could do was add a lot of harmony into the lyrics of the thing. And we went through that song with just Dave and General playing bass,
Yeah.
and a lot of harmony, and it's a guitar song.
Yeah.
So
But
worked out well.
it's no.
And somebody came up to us afterwards
Yeah.
and said, that rendition of the song with just bass and drums, that's cutting edge.
That's,
I didn't have the heart to tell them that they forgot what the chords were.
drum and bass playing.
Yeah, they probably didn't even notice, if you want the truth.
Yeah. I mean, you were hot off the plane. You were into Lanky Cats before your feet had touched the ground, really. You were still in the airport lounge or collecting your luggage from baggage recovery in the airport, you guys. When you came into Lanky Cats, you were flying at 35,000 feet as far as I was concerned, and I knew you'd have problems, but I didn't realise to such an extent.
It all worked out, and I don't think anyone really recognized what had happened. So
No.
that's good, and that's the thing about us being together for so many years.
Absolutely.
You know, when something does go wrong on stage, you know, we can all lock into it and fix it on the fly without the audience usually knowing anything took place.
Yeah. It's but just rewinding a few sentences with you, Dave and Ron, about the camaraderie and the brotherhood that takes place. This is above and beyond a kind of a professional relationship that we had to put the shows together for you as best we could. You delivered on stage to your audiences, and we all got a real buzz from that, a real great deal of satisfaction. But then beyond that is this something else takes place. It's almost a spiritual happening of sorts that nobody knows it's going to happen, but it did happen on that occasion that you came over here, and we are kind of firmly bonded together now as fellow comrades, citizens, whatever you like, over and above being musicians, and that's a typical spin-off from Lanky Cats as well. You know, we get the bands coming in, and all of a sudden they're making new friends and forming new relationships with other band members and, of course, members of the audience. As a whole big family generating itself, if you like. And it's the same when you guys come over. You were into that spirit, and that's what I call the spirit of Lanky Cats. You were into that straight away. And then when I saw you go into Mersey Rats and Mersey Cats, Mersey Rats at the Latham Hall, and I saw how you were greeted and how you responded and they responded to you, I thought to myself, this is amazing. It's a family get together, this of sorts, isn't it?
Yeah.
And that's how quickly we develop these relationships. And just to kind of underline what you were saying earlier, Ron and David.
Well,
And you know, I couldn't agree. I couldn't agree more. Times to me that were really special, that were off stage, and probably the one of the most special times off stage was backstage at Latham with all of the what would you call them, the senior management, or the elder statesmen of rock and roll of Liverpool, and they were all sitting around and they embraced us. And that was a turning point to me, was having, you know, being, you know, these guys had played with the Beatles in 62 and 63 and probably before that. And to be embraced by these, you know, gentlemen who set the way for us, it was great.
Well, those guys stood alongside the Beatles and Jerry and the Pacemakers and all the Liverpool bands. They stood alongside them, and nobody was any kind of different in the earlier days. It's only later on when Brian Epstein came on the scene and took a look at the Beatles and said, I can make something out of these lads. And that's when they elevated themselves above everybody else, and it just became, well, what it became. And they took along the Foremost and the Billy J. Kramer and Jerry and the Pacemakers. Cilla Black was in there, and they just absolutely, it all went berserk over here.
Yeah.
There's no question about
Liverpool
it. Now,
exploded.
what I feel sorry for is the lads who were kind of left behind. They're the ones who didn't make it, and they're the guys and gals who you were in company with, and who saw it all, and were in the processes of making rock and roll music, just like the Beatles were.
Anyway, shall I play a song and come back to them in a minute?
If you can, yes. Yeah. What we're going to play, Diane?
I'm going to play a classic that I think is brilliant by them, and it's simply called "That Was This Is." I just have to wait for it to load.
Yeah.
And we'll give that a spin, can't we?
That's is this the first song that the
Yes.
Sixth Generation? Was it the first one, Ron? Before you.
What was the song?
That Was the Time.
That's I wrote that when we got back together, and it's actually an autobiography of the band.
Yeah.
Although it became a lot more than that around the world.
Yeah. Now That Is the Time, which is another track. Yeah. Was that written in the 60s?
This Is the Time was written in 1967.
That's right. Now which
and
one?
That Was the Time is the one that that I wrote when we got back together.
It was the sequel, wasn't it, as it were? Yeah.
Well, we'll
Yes,
be back with you guys right after this track. Sixth Generation, what a classic.
Looking back, it was happy chaos then, groovy times, yet the war would just not end. Racial strife that the hippies loved all day, music flowed, still the man had final say. And the times kept on rolling by, and the songs kept us flying high. That was the time. That was life in a time when we were young, and the songs that we sang were such great fun. Hear the beat, we can dance away the night. There's no doubt, music always made things right. And the times kept on rolling by, and the songs kept us flying high. That was the time. And the times kept on rolling by, and the songs kept us flying high. That was the time. Now we're here. All the years have flown right by, but those times are so clearly on my mind. Like a song you can check out anytime, but you can't ever leave those times behind. And the times, they keep on rolling by, us flying high. And the songs keep us flying high. That was the time. That was the time. That was the time.
Yes, there we go, the sixth generation.
That was the time.
Something called That Was the Time. Fantastic. And here they are live on the phone at the moment from the US of A. It's Ron and Big D, isn't it? From the sixth generation.
It is. Yeah, it's great to be with you guys.
Yeah, and we're certainly enjoying the conversation with you. I mean, that particular track, it kind of sums up the day, doesn't it? That was the time. We are looking back over your career in showbiz now, aren't we? You're looking back over an extraordinary period of time. I don't think there can be quite another story just like it. What I'm thinking of now is I want to get you talking about the achievements that you've made during your second coming, as it were. What achievements have you had during that time, from about 2011 right up to 2017?
Go ahead, Ron. What's your favorite? And I'll do one.
Actually, there's quite a few of them, Bill, and I'm sure Dave will mention them too. But the first thing that happened to us actually is we were inducted into the Michigan Rock and Roll Legends Hall of Fame, and that was a very, very big deal, and it helped relaunch us unbelievably. So that was a very high point in all that's happened over all the years.
And haven't you been re-inducted into the Michigan Hall of Fame?
Yes, actually, the founder and executive director of the Michigan Rock and Roll Legends Hall of Fame came down to our last performance so that he could see it. And while we were on stage, he presented us with the certificates for the induction. So it was kind of a reinduction, although we were actually inducted back in 2011.
Yeah. I mean, that again must be unique to be inducted twice. That's a great honor for you indeed, isn't it?
It is, and when you think about the other people that are in that Hall of Fame,
give me some ideas. Who's in it?
Well, like Bob Seger's in it, Madonna's in it.
I'm a walking in the rain.
Del Shannon's in it. I mean, just on and on and on. There are a lot of Michigan-based artists.
That's right. That's right. So you're in extremely sophisticated company when you say the Michigan Hall of Fame, and and you're in there twice, as it were. And what an honor! Fantastic.
And I tell you, Bill, and also Ron, with This Is the Time, he was also inducted in the songwriting, or the song was inducted into the Michigan Rock and Roll Legends Hall of Fame of songs.
Of songs.
So we have we were in for the band and for
the song itself. Fantastic. And what other achievements?
Okay, so we did 96 shows in the few years that we were back together again.
Yeah.
And I would say that there are probably two. One is the tour to England, which again we've already talked about, and being at Latham and at the Cavern. That was a bucket list mentions for sure. The other one was when we recorded Ron's song Living in a Small Town.
Yeah.
It went to number 2 on the Billboard charts, the Hot 100 chart.
It did indeed.
And it was there for 12 weeks.
And
but here's the kicker, Bill.
Yeah.
We were kept out of number 1 by the re-release of Satisfaction by the Rolling Stones.
Unbelievable.
So it shows the Rolling Stones and Satisfaction number 1 and Living in a Small Town by the Sixth Generation as number 2. That's a piece of memorabilia I'll never let go.
Absolutely. What achievements, eh? That's fantastic. Like I say, what a unique story you guys have made. You've made rock and roll history in your own particular way, and what, boy oh boy, have you done it in style.
Well, but we're not done yet.
You're not done yet. I've lost you, David. Right, it just seems like we've kind of...
I'll be back.
So
Are we back? It's what it is. It's the tide.
yeah,
It's high tide here in Lancashire, in Lanky land. It's high tide. So if we kind of lose connections, it's because of the high tide at Southport.
Right.
don't get a kidder. But Bill, as far as the sixth generation goes, we never figured we would ever have a reunion, and we did. So we've actually got another reunion planned for 2057.
Oh,
so
right.
If you want to put that in your list.
Hang on a second. Yes, I'll get
we'll be
that
over
down.
to England sometime.
What's the date? What's the date again, David?
What's the date? 2060. We'll be playing at Lanky Cats in 2060.
Right. Okay. Let me see if I've got any availability on that date. Yes, I'm okay. I've got.
Yes.
I've got some availability. Yeah, no problem. Okay, you're in.
Write that down in your diary, Bill.
Well, one thing we'll be doing soon, Dave, more often is doing a live broadcast from Lanky Cats going out on Wrightington Hospital Radio, so you can listen Lanky Cats live.
Now that's something to look forward to.
You know, we're having the line is breaking up pretty dramatically.
It is.
Right
it is
now.
indeed.
Not sure what's
Well,
going on.
I think you guys have paid for an expensive telephone call long enough. Thank you very much for ringing in. We've enjoyed every minute of you and David getting back to us, giving your story to the world, as it were. We're hoping to talk to Paul Davis and Fred Holtz as well, but they're on holiday, I think, is what is happening to those two guys. So we do appreciate yourself, Ron, and you, David, coming on and chatting to us. From me personally, myself, it's been fantastic to talk to you again. Fantastic. Diane?
Brilliant. It's always good to talk to you guys.
As it is. Yeah, Diane, same to you and Bill. And this doesn't need to be the end. You'll be surprised, but maybe someday you'll pick up the phone and go, "Who's this?" And it'll be me calling in.
Yeah.
Well, can I just say,
Can't keep me away.
you've got an open invitation to call in any time.
And what?
You've got an open invitation to call in any time on a Wednesday evening on my show.
Very good.
Don't
Very
wait for an
good.
invitation.
And please watch for Ron's music.
Yeah, and same with my Lanky Beat show as well. Lanky Beat Live will be, it usually runs every couple of weeks, every 2 weeks, and I'll be delighted to chat to you on Lanky Beat Live. No problem at all, Dave. Okay, Ron?
Very good. Very good.
Okay.
Take care, guys, and lots of love from England.
Cheers, America.
Yeah, I second that, you guys. You take care. Love to all your families, and just give our best to Paul and Fred and every one of their families as well.
We sure will.
Okay.
Take care.
We
Thank
sure
you. There we go. That's the.
Take care, you guys.
Yeah, rock on.
Rock on.
Yeah, they got all the way from the US of A. Brilliant band, the Sixth Generation. I'm going to play another track by them, Bill. Am I allowed to?
Yep.
Well, Elvis loved Blue Suede, Ricky loved Mary Lou, and twisting and shouting was the latest thing to do. The British invasion, Motown and hardcore, rock and roll, rock and roll. Stones were rolling, singing time is on my side. Yes, it is. Beach Boys, dead clock, zombies and doors. Rock and roll, rock and roll. That's rock and roll. Give me more. That's rock and roll. Pretty baby. That's rock and roll. Give me more. That's rock and roll. I'll say, come on, pretty baby, rock and roll me. That's rock and roll. Give me more. That's rock and roll. Little darling. Rock and roll. Give me more. That's rock and roll. I'll say, come on, pretty baby, rock and roll me. I may be older, but I don't care. I don't need no rocking chair. Give me the music, I'll rock anywhere. So come on and rock and roll me. I was made for rocking, it's way down in my soul. My body starts shaking and I almost lose control. I want it, I need it, I never get bored. Rock and roll, rock and roll. Yeah, that's rock and roll. Give me more. That's rock and roll. Little darling. Rock and roll. Give me more. That's rock and roll. I say, come on, pretty baby, rock and roll me. All right, one more time, boys. That's rock and roll. Give me more. That's rock and roll. Pretty baby. That's rock and roll. Give me more. That's rock and roll. I say, come on, pretty baby, rock and roll with me.
Oh, brilliant sound, Sixth Generation, rock and roll with me. Yes, you're listening to the Girls Are Loud show, but Brian's even louder and he's not here today. I've got Bill instead.
That's me. Yeah,
And
we're kind of jostling for position here because I'm trying to promote my Lanky Beat Live show. Diane's trying to promote her Girls Are Loud show, and it's just a recipe for like I said before, chaos.
it's the Girls Are Loud and Lanky Cat show.
I don't know how that works, you know.
I don't know how it works, but we can press some buttons and then we can see what happens, can't we?
Yeah.
Do you like this one, Manfred Mann?
Dave is on the road again, wearing different clothes again. Dave is turning handouts down to keep his pockets clean. All his goods are sold again, his worth as good as gold again. Says if you see Jean now, ask her please to pity me. Jean and I, we moved along since the day down in the hollow when the mind went drifting on and the feet were soon to follow. Dave is on the road again, wearing different clothes again. Dave is turning handouts down to Dave is on the road again, wearing different clothes again. Dave is turning handouts down to keep his pockets clean. All his goods are sold again, his worth as good as gold again. Says if you see Jean now, ask her please to pity me. Jean and I, we moved along since the day down in the hollow, when the mind went drifting on and the feet were soon to follow. Dave is on the road again, wearing different clothes again. Dave is turning handouts down to keep his pockets clean. Said his good.
Oh, I love that song. Dave is on the road again.
What's it about, that? What's the song about?
I've no clue, I just like it.
I know. Sometimes I listen to the lyrics of a song, and you listen to them, and you still don't know what the song's all about.
I don't analyse a song like that.
Yeah,
I either
yeah.
like it or I don't like it.
Yeah, I mean, the melody's the first thing that catches you, isn't it? There's no
Yeah.
question about that. And but after that, there's a whole shed full of lyrics that want some listening to. And sometimes it leaves me a little bit, And you know, I'm as guilty as anybody for writing that kind of lyric. I've written some gobbledygook lyrics in my time, and I believe we're going to play one or two tracks from Hart Carney that have not been released yet.
Well, yeah, we've got our hands on them, haven't we?
Yeah.
Just
We've got the mixes, but not the masters.
Yeah, does Mr. Kearney know about it?
He'll be delighted.
Oh, right.
Yeah, I'll be delighted. It's me I'm so anxious to kind of get this new album out. There's 9 tracks on it, and it's almost, like I say, ready for releasing, but needs mastering. And if that sounds a bit technical to you, I don't know what it means either.
It means sorting the tracks so everything's got its proper separation. You can hear all the instruments clearly.
Yeah.
And I've still got stuff I recorded in the 80s, you know.
Right, yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
music I've written and played.
Right.
Yeah, I recorded in the 80s, and I've still got
Have
those
you
on
got the recordings?
Mm.
And what format are they on?
cassette.
Cassette, as in little cassettes.
Cassettes, and I've also got it on MIDI files on my old computer, on the disc.
I'd love to listen to some of them.
They'd probably bore you to death.
All right then, but
'Cause they were written-
I'll risk it.
They were written for me for something to do at the time, because at night I got my own time, and to relax I ended up writing music, and I really enjoyed it on my Atari, my keyboard. No vocals on it, it's just instrumental music, but I enjoyed doing it. I didn't do it for I make a lot of money out of this. I'd done it for the reason I enjoyed doing it, and that was more important to me than anything.
Yeah.
And I'll do it if I can find them.
I'm getting a sense of it's kind of a therapeutic exercise.
It was relaxing for me.
Yeah, that's it.
But
That's it. Yeah.
I just love playing keyboards
Yeah.
to myself, not for anybody.
Yeah.
I've nothing to prove to anybody playing them. I've done it on stage, and
I think this is Diane Herring revealing all of you.
no, I played in a band. I played the drums in a band. I played keyboards in a band. But I'm much happier with a band on the sound desk.
Yeah. Yeah.
I used-
Oh, yeah. You've definitely found your vocation in life, haven't you? It's behind a desk and doing your thing with them. And no, you found the vinyls back again with all the vinyls coming back again. Oh,
I love your radio stuff, but
Yeah.
we used to do Flanagan's Apple
yeah,
in Liverpool.
right.
We used to do that Thursday nights.
Yeah.
And there was one bar I got cheesed off with the same stuff, playing it on stage. I didn't want to be on stage. So
Yeah.
I said, I'm leaving. And they said, will you go on the sound desk? I said, okay. And he just went like that. And
Yeah.
I never looked back after that. Should we have some more music?
Yeah. What have you got for us?
I think we should run for home. A little bit of Lindisfarne going back to 1978. Wow.
Yep.
Brilliant band, Lindisfarne. Very underrated.
Absolutely.
Go way back to the 60s.
Good old Newcastle band.
Very much so.